like the Islamic culture, the will overtakes, the provisions of the Marriage Act where it dies into.
Okay, thank you very much. But this is really reassuring to hear. So my sisters my Muslim sisters are protected. Now, Tara, thank you very much, Halima. It's 13 minutes to 6. Tone talks with Tara, and we're looking at having a will, especially protecting the woman and the children. So Onyeka sent a message. Onyeka is a woman, by the way. And she said, I concur with you. Women should have properties in their names. Very important. But she now said, what if the woman is not a responsible wife and is likely to blow the man's money? What if she's not responsible? Let me put a twist to this. The family of the man may be thinking like this. They think the woman is not responsible, right? And I'm doing devil's advocate here. So they may think the woman is not responsible, even though I don't think it's a business anyway. But they may think the woman is not responsible, and he wants to blow the man's money away. And that is what Onyeka is saying. Onyeka is a female,
And
by
to
the way.
get a lover that also comes and wants to blow the man's heart and money away. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
So his
Yeah.
lover comes around, another woman comes around. Huh?
If she remarries or something, she remarries a man that doesn't have as much as her husband, and they live off the husband's money.
Mm.
It happens. So the question, you hadn't gotten to the question, you were still.
No. She just said, she's just making a point that what if the woman is responsible and is likely to blow the man's money away? So how would you advise? Let's put it this way: if you're the man's friend, a female friend, you're his sister, how would you handle that, knowing that the wife is frivolous? Because some women could be frivolous, really.
Definitely.
How would you advise?
So what I would do is that I would make a trusted friend an executor, or my family that I know, I will make them executors. So if I know that I have a situation like that, a friend, she has 2 children, she's doing better than her husband. Her husband isn't pulling his weight, hasn't really pulled his weight when it comes to the children, education wise. And while we were making our will, she said, you know what, I don't want my husband's hands on my money, on my pension, on anything. So I'm going to make my brother and my lawyer, that's me, executors of my will. And the executors of the will are actually the people that can say, do, or undo when it comes to the assets of the person. So she could cut off, she invariably just cut off the husband's control and says that, okay, we would ask him about, maybe his preference, maybe give him options, as to maybe at school, do you want her to school in this school or in that school? But ultimately, we'll make the control, we'll make the decision, and the money does not get into his hands.
Thank you very much. I'm being told that we have about 9 minutes to go, but I have this question. This is from Zach. Zach is a man, obviously. He said, if your husband's siblings discover that you're encouraging him to create a will, could it lead to a problem? Might they suspect you of having might they suspect you of having ulterior motives, or even accuse you of plotting harm against your husband if any unfortunate events occurred? I hope you understand. I mean, we've touched on that.
How do they know that I was encouraging him to make a will? It's because my husband told them. Why should my husband tell them? So there's some things that are, because he knows me. That's why we're doing that together. Why must he tell his in-laws, his siblings, or his family that I'm encouraging him to make a will? It's a private thing. And like I said earlier on, she's a very, very close friend. And one day she said, aren't you going to tell me about what my husband wrote in his will? And I said, no, it's a professional thing. I can't tell you. The only thing I can even tell you is that don't worry, you're well protected. But I can't give you the details of the will because it's professional. I have a client confidentiality towards my clients, and I can't tell otherwise. Why tell them?
Thank you. Thank you, Tara. So now I want you to advise on this. I mean, I'm going to rule it into two questions because I'm being told that I need to wrap up. The first thing is where the man has died and there was no will, and the extended family are denying the wife access to his properties that she helped him to build.
Mm.
How can she handle this?
Okay. The death certificate is a very important thing. So don't let anybody have the death certificate except you, because that's what you're going to use to process letters of administration. So if the husband's family are holding on to his property, the thing I would advise the wife to is to go to court, apply for letters of administration. If you show that you are his wife and the law is favorable towards giving the woman and letters of administration, the wife espousal letters of administration, join your child if your child is of age, or a trusted family member that you know would not um, go against your wishes, so to speak, because you have to have two administrators for an estate, and then apply to court. Once you get the letter of administration, don't let them know that you are getting letters of administration, because they're going to now go and put a caveat in the probate registry. So just do everything correctly. Don't fight with them. Just be looking at them, and then you get the letters of administration. Once you get those letters of administration, they have no authority, and you can take them to court.
Yeah. So Tara, it's quite easy to say this, but there are hundreds and thousands of women who would not even know what to do, but we don't have time. The last question I want to ask you: did you have any fears that the family will meddle? Did you have any fears at all that your husband's family will meddle when he passed on?
No, I didn't.
No.
My husband's family is very English, so to speak. So they keep to themselves. So I didn't have that any fear at all that they will meddle. If I had the fears, then I'll have insisted on so much more. But no, I didn't. But I'm not a lot of women are as fortunate as I am. Some even in the marriage don't go in, they can see the meddling of the in-laws, and that's why before he dies or when he dies, they must be very proactive.
Tara, I'm being asked to wrap up, but please, we need to do justice to this. Can you please quickly, if you can, in a minute, explain to us the positives and negatives of having a will?
Okay. Quickly, the positive of having a will. A will is a testamentary disposition. So it tells everybody what you would like, and how you like it. You have some sense of control, over what happens when you're dead and gone. So you can share your property the way you feel you want to share it. That uncle that was nice to you, you can give him some money. That child that was misbehaving, you can cut it down, and that's the best thing. You can put in place your affairs, helps you to put in place your affairs. But the thing about a will is that it can be contested, and so even though your affairs are in place and in order, someone can come up and say that you were not in the proper frame of mind to have written the will, or that the will wasn't properly executed, because there are some rules that must be followed for a will to be properly executed. Another thing about it is that once you die and it's read, it becomes a public document. So I, for example, can go to the probate registry tomorrow and ask for the certified true copy of your will and read it just for my leisure, and say, oh, so this was how many properties this man had, and oh, so he gave this to his young wife, he gave this to the old wife,
Okay. Tara, thank you very much. Tara, thanks very much for sharing.
And then lastly,
Okay.
that I must say, a will, you must, even though there's a will down, you must go through letters of probate to get that will to be an effective will, and then you have to pay at least 10% of it, of all the assets, to the government. Those are one of the disadvantages of having a will.
So thank you, Tara. One thing I picked up earlier is that there are billions of unclaimed monies lying down fallow in the bank when there is no will. Tara, thank you for sharing with me. Your courage, as I always tell you, is inspiring. Your story tells of the importance of planning today, because tomorrow is not assured. Thank you very much, Tara. Thank you.
Thank you so
Um,
very much
that,
for having me.
my pleasure. My pleasure. And you know what I've also picked up is that making a will gives peace of mind to all, especially those closest to the deceased when he is gone. I also want to quickly seize this opportunity to say big thank you to Barrister Halima Mohammed. Thank you for shedding light from the Muslim perspective. What we have done today here is to take away life lessons that when a loved one dies and does not put things in place, bitterness sets in, anger, and sometimes regret. And the people you're supposed to love when you are alive end up not loving at all. I'd like to say thank you to producer Miracle Philip and to Michael Ike Paul, and to you for doing this with me. Thank you. Remember, this is TounTalks, where we allow life lessons to shape our choices and perspectives, to improve our relationships and make living beautiful. Honest conversations with no constraints. I'm Tomo Kewale Shonaya. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.